Hey, everybody, welcome back to RGR. The Chiefs' defense on Sunday was one of the biggest surprises from this Bills game again in the AFC Championship game. And what I wanted to really look at was Juan Thornhill. I know we've all been kind of seeing his clips around Twitter, but this is a really deep dive into the things that one make him a very good free safety, but also why his presence unlocks Steve Spagnuolo's defense, unlike to what we've seen earlier in the season. So let's go ahead and jump in. So when I first noticed Juan Thornhill on the field, it was the very first drive. He didn't start, actually. It was Matthew and it was Sorensen as the two deep safeties that looked. So he came in and he started making plays from the very first drive that he was in. And this is the one of the most important, if not the biggest plays that he made in the game. What the Chiefs are doing here is they're going to cover zero, which means you've got man coverage across the board. Matthew's on the tight end. Thornhill is on Beasley. Ward's on John Brown. That means everybody else is coming on blitz. So you got to get the ball out quick if you're Josh Allen. That's 3rd and 3. So you have to know where you're going to go with the football rather quickly. With Beasley running more like a screen route here with John Brown just kind of blocking, this is where he was originally trying to get the football. But with Snead coming on the blitz and Thornhill just running downhill quickly, Allen was unable to get the football out as quickly. That's when the route changes, and that's when we get to see Juan Thornhill become something that he was in college, and that's a corner. He played corner in college, and right there, that change of direction to stay with Beasley and then get upfield and find the football is what makes him a difference maker for this team. He can cover wide receivers, he can cover running backs, he can cover tight ends. He has the multiple skill set you're looking for from a free safety that can not only patrol the middle of the field, the back end of the field, but he can come down in the box and cover guys one-on-one. And the ability that he has right here to change direction when he realizes that Beasley's not getting the ball right here, because you can see that Beasley is clearly looking for the football. Allen in the mesh point with Singletary took a little bit longer than I think they were expecting. So he instead turns it upfield and tries to get open and looking for the football, knowing the football's coming out because John Brown's blocking essentially, and knowing that he's in the position to make a play on 3rd and 3 is everything you could really hope for in Juan Thornhill, showing his athleticism and his ability to play cover and stick to guys like this. Like, that's everything that I needed to know about Juan Thornhill out from his injury, and seeing the Chiefs coaching staff decide to limit his reps up until the season finale against the Chargers, and then really kind of unleash him in the playoffs because he looks fully healthy. It's all starting to pay some dividends. So really, this was obviously a smart decision from the coaching staff to let him heal up during the season, but also still play, get those kinks out. Now we're starting to see his explosion come back. And this is one of the prime examples of that explosion. To have the click and close ability as a free safety, especially for these underneath routes and these quicker patterns from a Bills offense, any offense really, is what is very important. It's called click and close. As you're going to see Thornhill right here. He's going to start into his back pedal. So you see right there, he's backpedaling. As soon as he decides he's going forward, he's going to click, which is just dig that foot into the dirt and close on the football. He attacks it immediately where the catch point is, and he knocks it out. That is so important for corners, really linebackers as well, in terms of deciding to run forward. But the acceleration after he puts his foot in the dirt is really kind of beautiful. It's one of those things that you want to see out of your safeties, and Juan Thornhill's always had that explosion. But one of the most important attributes for a safety and for really safeties in general is trusting the film process and knowing what an offense is trying to accomplish. So here they have Diggs on the outside, the very outside. He's going to run just a little post pattern. You got Beasley in the slot, and he's going to run behind L'Jarius Sneed and run an out route. So with L'Jarius Sneed in more of a shorter zone here, he's just going to kind of backpedal a little bit. Both Beasley and Diggs are going to wait until they clear Sneed to then do what they're trying to do with their routes. So they both clear Sneed. Then you see the cuts from both of them right there as soon as they get out. You can also kind of see Sneed's head going to Beasley, but that's when they trade off. Ward comes down. to get Beasley as he comes around, makes the transition easy for him, so he's not trying to cover Diggs as he's coming across the field. That's a lose-lose situation for him. He's unable to do that. But as you can see here, there's a lot of room to cover. Josh Allen's looking off to his left, but this is designed. The Chiefs do this kind of stuff all the time where they look off to the left and they set up something to come back to the right and immediately throw it. Right there is where he comes downhill. He doesn't even need to know where Josh Allen's going with the football because he knows exactly what's coming. And that's why this kind of play is impressive and needs to happen for this defense. Excuse me. Thornhill's ability to come downhill and attack, lay some lumber, really unlocks everything for this defense. And I love watching him be that kind of player again. That was one of the hugest things that we saw out of him last year. His ability to come downhill and really lay some lumber on people was so much fun to watch. Now, obviously, the Chiefs here get that sack, but again, the Bills are going to try to do almost the exact same thing with Beasley this time. They're going to still come across the middle here, but Allen wants to get the ball out. I believe he's trying to get the ball to Beasley. And because Thornhill recognizes that once again, they're going to come across his face with a receiver, and the Chiefs actually are going to be blitzing on this play to bring some speed off the edges with Sorensen and Snead as well. He doesn't have to worry about anything deep. As soon as Beasley, like I showed you earlier with this over route, slant route here, as soon as he opens up to the inside and takes that, all he has to do is take it away. That means that Allen has to figure out where he's going with the football quickly. But Thornhill knows that he's not going to be able to do that because right here he comes back to his right, and you can see that he's kind of looking right this way. Maybe more a little bit this way. But Brown's covered, coming across the field. Beasley's not looking at the football yet. And now you've got a free Snead coming clear right at Josh Allen. When he realizes it, it's too late. They did a very good job in this game of locking down the underneath and intermediate routes to allow the blitz to get there. They knew they could get to Josh Allen if they just got these quick read throws out of the way. And Thornhill coming downhill on that play, I really think was one of the reasons they were able to get to him because Allen couldn't get the ball to Beasley, which I think he was trying to. My own opinion, I could be wrong. Now, one of the things that I mentioned right before we started doing the film work was that Thornhill unlocks this defense in a different way than I think Ryan and I have talked about it quite a bit actually. And Matthew in and of itself is kind of a unicorn. He can do anything. He can come down, play in the box. He can play corner. He can play safety. He can really kind of play linebacker. He can do it all. And when you have a safety like Thornhill, and you have another guy in Sorensen who can play in the box and kind of play as a half field safety, not really a free range safety. It allows them to use Matthew in one of the areas that he really excels, and that's where he comes down here and is a robber. So what the Chiefs are going to do, they're showing two deep safeties. You got Matthew here, you got Thornhill here, Sorensen down in the box. This is just a nice little triangle shape they've got going on. And what they're going to do on the snap is rotate. You're going to have Thornhill come here. You're going to have Matthew come down in the box. And Sorensen is coming out immediately to be that two deep safety look. This motion post-snap is something that Spags used a lot, and it confused Josh Allen. He couldn't process what was typically going on a lot, really up until the last drive of the game where there was nothing for him and the game was essentially over. So Spags used this really a lot. And when you've got guys that are interchangeable, they're just able to take away a lot of the field. And I think he decided to come down with this ball a little bit too quickly. And because of the rotation, and it really kind of forced an inaccurate football. But he was looking down to the left the whole time. This rotation happens here. You've got nobody even close to the 50. So he's trying to throw this football like right now. He's wide open too, and it's just an inaccurate ball. Whether that has to do with the rotation or not, I don't really know. But I just wanted to show you what Thornhill adds and why it allows Matthew to do what he does best. When he's underneath the two deep safeties like that, that's really when he can do everything he wants to. He can read Josh Allen. He can read the receivers coming across the field. And that's when they're all at their best. I truly believe that. Now, Thornhill, again, This game he had 4 times the amount of pass breakups than he had in any game prior to this. That's one of the more impressive things that I've seen from him this year. It's the most impressive. He did have an interception this year, but the pass breakups and the change of direction specifically on this play helps a lot. So you can see Thornhill, he's coming over just in case Diggs gets free over here. That makes a lot of sense, right? And now Josh Allen is looking back from my own kind of assumption. He's looking back to his left as John Brown looks to be coming open over the middle here. So you have to make decisions quickly and be able to change your direction to take away a throw. Now, maybe John Brown can get clear here, but if Thornhill keeps going with Diggs, this is a just easy decision for him to make. Josh Allen's going to throw this football, even though it's Breland right there. So he's going to stop and come right back. And now you're in between two players here. Allen's on the move. And you've got a defender in his face here coming down. He's got to figure out where to go with the football. He wanted to come to John Brown. He did. He wanted to. But since Thornhill's now coming here, and now you've got Diggs locked down, he's got nowhere to go with the football. And it's forcing him to run this out a bit more than he wanted to. And that's when Hitchens can get, or that's Okafor, excuse me, can get there and ruin everything. Like, they did a really good job of not only covering everybody when they needed to be covered, but Thornhill's presence and his ability to go to one direction when he sees Diggs possibly coming open there, but to keep his eyes on the quarterback and to come back to Brown, who could possibly get in the ball as well, forced him to hold the football and then throw the football away. Like, that's a great play. It's just one of those things you have to have as a free safety. Okay, that's gone. So here we go. I absolutely love Thornhill's ability to cover as the deep safety. And that's something we hadn't seen a whole lot of this season. And they trusted him in this game to do that. And he was able to, make a really, really great break, almost coming down with another interception. Hey, timed it just a little bit different. But unfortunately, Snead does get hurt on this play, but he's really in good position as well. He's trailing and he's just reading and he's looking for the football. Thornhill just almost comes down with it. But that free range ability that he possesses is so valuable. It's so valuable because he's got that speed to go from one direction to the other, cover all of that ground, and make a play on the football. That, for this defense, with the way it's constructed, for guys like Ward and Breland who play more physical and can get beat at times by playing more physical, his ability to really kind of recover that for them, it speaks volumes for this defense. And he is just he's going to be so key in the postseason, continuously down the stretch for this team. And in the Super Bowl, I think that he's going to come up really, really big because he's going to have to. I think they're going to get some guys loose. I expect Antonio Brown to play, and they're going to find ways to get the ball down the field. And Thornhill's ability to cover is going to be desperately needed. Now, again, we see the ability to cover range, to come from one area down to the other. And Dawson Knox isn't the fastest guy in the world. He's a tight end, so he's just going to come open here and come across the field. But Thornhill, again, by working his way through what he's doing and seeing that, everyone else is locked up over here, and reading the quarterback's eyes. He's going to get there a little bit early, but that's perfectly fine. I think that the refs really allowed them to play this out a bit more. Obviously, the Chiefs defense is definitely built to play more physical on the outside with their corners and everything like that. So allowing him just to be who he is, come downhill, make plays on the football. It's going to be really, really impressive to see him get back to full health for a full season. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to the most coming out of this, is seeing him play like this in the AFC Championship game. He didn't get to last year. He's making up for it right now. And I'm really excited to see him in the Super Bowl because this is a guy that's really going to make teams pay. And Tom Brady, I can tell you one thing. Tom Brady's going to have to watch out for where Juan Thornhill is lined up in this defense, because he's going to make some plays on the football. And one of these times he's going to come down with it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing Juan Thornhill at full health for the first time really all season. I'm super pumped to see him against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. this defense playing the way they are right now, I find it very difficult to believe that the Tampa Bay Bucks can keep up with them or with the Chiefs with the way they're playing. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are, and I hope you enjoyed this. You guys have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.